So I'm down to the last page of my sketchbook today. Pretty exciting. So if I end up painting something here, this will be it. This will finish off the sketchbook, but I'm not sure that I'm going to find anything. But as always, keeping my eyes open. We'll see if anything piques my interest enough to capture it in my sketchbook. But definitely it's nice weather out. It's only like 80 degrees, so it's not very hot. But there's still some good sunlight. Feels warm out. Really beautiful day. And pretty much no wind too, so that's a plus. I came here last week, I think it was last week, and it was just like 15, 20 mile an hour winds. It's crazy, crazy wind. But now it seems pretty good. I think if I end up painting anything here, it might be some of the creek actually. There's this one part when you get to the end and you can kind of look all the way down. I'm gonna see how that looks when I get there. That might be what I paint, but not sure yet. You know, around here it's just all very chaotic, trees and stuff. Not a whole lot of different stuff to paint. It would definitely be like an exercise in simplifying and value control, but I'm not sure if I'm up for that today. And like I said, everything is so green, man. I've already done a lot of green stuff lately, and I just want something a little bit different. And after painting yesterday out in the mountains, I just felt like I needed to get out in nature again, even if it's just, you know, a little bit of woods here. I just felt like I need to get out and explore more. Just love being in nature, man. Man, so even here the creek is mostly green just because it's reflecting so much of all the greenery around it. It's like a little bit of blue sky reflections. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I could always do like a close-up of some kind of plant. If I can find some nice light, that'd be kind of cool maybe. You know, just try to get close-up of leaves and stuff and just try to do a study of some kind of plant maybe. I don't know. Like I said, I'm just staying open to everything. And I'm trying to figure out like what kinds of things are out here to paint. You know, there's oak trees and yellow grasses and stuff. There's water, you know, there's plants and stuff. I think there's poison oak out here everywhere. So I'm trying to avoid that for sure. So, like I said, I could also do like a close-up of something. So, you know, could like document like the patterns of leaves and stuff. I don't know if it's worth doing that or not, since I'm not really doing a plant for any particular reason other than just to paint it. Too bad all the flowers around here are pretty much gone. You know, a few months ago there were some beautiful like purple wildflowers and stuff, and they were always on the side of the road when I was driving, and there was never anywhere to pull off, so I never ended up painting them. So this is that spot I was talking about. You know, there's a good area to set up and paint and stuff. It wouldn't be a problem, but there's nothing that's like, there's no focal point. It's just, you know, there's not a lot of depth. There's just a wall of trees back there. Kind of a bummer. So, and I'd be in direct sunlight the whole time. I'd have to go in the shade over here. Yeah, I don't know. Not really feeling this spot for a painting, so I guess I just keep moving. So now I'm kind of out of the nature preserve. The preserve is down over there, and I'm on this roadway. The road's kind of cool, and there's also a road this way to paint. You know, get that perspective and the distance. So what I also like is this field of roses back here. That's pretty cool, and there's some buildings, UC Davis buildings off in the distance. So that's potential. It's kind of different. You know, there's not really a lead-in to lead you to the buildings, but I do love all the colors from the flowers. I don't know that I'd be able to really capture that, but I do like having, you know, the different kinds of colors, and there's some shade here to paint in if I wanted to under this tree. So those are kind of my options right now, because in the nature preserve, it's just like there's nothing there, you know, nothing that I'm interested in right now. It's very chaotic, it's very dark, it's green, it's brown, and I want color. I want some color. if I can help it, or some light. You know, I like the trees at the end of this road. It's pretty cool, and having the blue sky in it. You know, having the whole kind of big composition, having all the values of a landscape. You know, trees, ground, sky, and a lot of depth. I just don't want it to be boring. That's the thing. But there's also that field of wildflower or roses. Excuse me, field of roses. Yeah, the problem I have with that is just there's no lead in. It's just all horizontals, and I feel that would be pretty boring. Even though the color is nice, it might be boring as an actual subject, unfortunately. Although the colors here are boring, but it's a nice composition. So now I'm kind of I'm caught between two different compositions, and one's boring for one reason, and the other one's boring. You know, if I could mix and match them, it would be nice. And maybe with these wildflowers, maybe I create a lead-in. Maybe I have this gravel road leading toward the distance and just modify it. That could be a possibility, I think, strong possibility, because I do have this gravel road here that I can use and just turn it towards the buildings in the distance, and then just keep everything else the same. Just have the shapes of the roses and the greenery following the road as it is now. I'm torn on that. I'm torn. And I feel like if I'm torn on it, I shouldn't do it. You know, I don't know. I'm torn on both ideas here. I think I'm gonna go for these roses. I'm gonna sketch something out. Just try to, because I think the big problem I have to work out is the composition. So if I work out the composition and it turns out decent, then I think I'm gonna go for it. All right, well, I tried a few different compositions. You know, I drew a bunch for like 15 minutes and kept erasing them. And I realized I liked one that was more just straightforward, very strong. You know, I tried doing kind of a diagonal this way and then a road coming up this way. You know, I've tried different side roads leading in, and I kind of liked one that was a lot wider and kind of just straight toward kind of the buildings back here. And kind of really break up, you know, have like 2/3 here, 1/3 flowers, that kind of thing, maybe 1/4 with half. You know, just break it up, because I originally, the first one I tried was straight down the middle, a road straight down the middle, and it was kind of boring. So I wanted to make sure I had, you know, a different size of plots of flowers. Also, I tried having the road over here so that the flowers, the larger bit of flowers would offset the buildings, but I just didn't like it as much. You know, I think having the trees a little bit larger over here and then having this kind of balances out, and then having the road leading to the buildings this way, that's really the compositional element with some color interest down here. So that's my idea behind this composition. I'm gonna leave some spots for flowers. kind of like having some white gaps. I'm not really too concerned about filling them all in. It's kind of cool. Gives it more movement, kind of vibration for the eye. There's some white flowers out there anyway, so I'm going to leave some of them white probably. Some white spaces. Try to make that work. Gotta keep my palette really clean to do these, because I don't want to dirty the color. I want some pure pigment here. So it's not like the greatest composition I've ever done or came up with, but you know, like I said, it's really straightforward, very strong. Looking at what I had to work with, you know, I think it's pretty good, and I'm pretty happy with it. You know, I kind of like the contrast of the grayish brown buildings of school in the background compared to the very vibrant flowers in the foreground. I think it's an interesting contrast there. Well, I think that was a good way to end this sketchbook. You know, something very colorful. You know, I was searching for something colorful, something different. I've never really done that. Having a little bit of architecture in there made it interesting to me. And, you know, just capturing another little part of the town that I live in. And I'm moving in about a month up north to a different town. So just trying to capture what I can. Be sure to check out my other episodes on the screen right now. I definitely appreciate it. And stay tuned for the next episode. Peace.